Hello, welcome back to the Amber Wave Show, where we look back at this past week's action as we faced off against Cornard, as well as our matchup midweek against Dereham.
Yeah, on to last Saturday, where the Bloaters hosted Cornard on non-league day in front of a brilliant crowd of 283. Cornard started the game well. There was a lot of attacking play for Cornard as they pushed for the opening goal, which did come in the 20th minute. We didn't really see the goal because as much as they were pushing for the goal was a bit of a scrappy one, to say the least, with the Cornard player getting his head to the ball after a bit of a scramble in the box. So if Yarmouth were to win that game, it was going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah, Cornard couldn't keep 11 men on the field for too long, as on the 30th minute, a foul from the Cornard midfielder gave Yarmouth a free kick on the attacking left-hand side of the pitch. Burkane, the Cornard player, threw the ball towards where the free kick was supposed to be. However, he threw it at the referee's head. Now, the referee probably a little red in the cheeks after that, so he brandished a red card to that Cornard player, reducing them to 10 men.
Yeah, and just before half-time, things went from bad to worse for Cornard, as a tackle worthy of a yellow card was in fact brandished by the referee, this time to Cornard's Hughes. The only issue for Hughes was that this was his second yellow card, resulting in a red card. And Cornard now down to 9 men just before the break. And with the referee's whistle, the half ended with 9 players on the pitch for Cornard, but were a goal to the good.
Yep, Yarmouth, with a 2-man advantage, came out in the second half, raring to go. And as you could imagine, it was really an attack versus defence training session. And in the 48th minute, a fantastic strike from the Yarmouth forward was brilliantly saved by the Cornard goalkeeper.
Yeah, in terms of red cards with 2 men already sent off for Cornard, it couldn't get any worse, really, could it? Well, if you thought that, you would be wrong. Because as a long ball over the top was palmed away by Cornard's Carlton, but the issue, much like the first half, that the player was already on a yellow, leading to a red card and reducing Cornard down to further 7 men. They really struggled to abide the laws of the game.
Yeah, and on the 70th minute, Yarmouth found the leveller from a corner ball whipped in beautifully, and whose head would it rifle it home? Louis Duffield, who wasn't really on the pitch for too long, but he did come on as a substitute.
We're going to score from a corner. Now, corner played in. Header! It's in! Yarmouth the level! And it's 1-1 at the winner's lead!
Yeah, Cornard were really holding on for a point at this point, with really trying to take as long as possible with everything they did, but could not hold out forever as the Bloaters broke through in on goal, took the ball round the keeper who took out the Yarmouth forward, and an easy decision for the referee to award a penalty kick. And Louis Duffield stepped up to take it and made no mistake to smash the ball home for 2-1.
Stick it in, boys. Stick it in. It's out! It's out! It's in! And Yarmouth are in front!
The Cornard admin on X was not happy about this, and neither was Cornard's Sorath, who was taking out his team's poor conduct on the pitch out on the referee, who then decided to sin bin the player, meaning with 85 minutes gone and a 10-minute sin bin, Cornard was down to 7. So Cornard's conduct and attitude towards the game was also extremely poor in their dugout, as one of the technical staff in that dugout, who also was taking his team's poor attitude and conduct out on the referee, resulting in yet another red card. So Cornard had to play the last 5 minutes plus stoppage time with 7 men on the pitch through 3 red cards and a sin bin, as one less person in the technical area.
Yeah, and after Cornard's toddler-like meltdown, it just took 1 minute for Yarmouth to add to their goal tally of the game, and who steamrolled through the Cornard players that were on the pitch and blasted it home? Well, only one Louis Duffield, who completed his 16-minute hat-trick.
Mitchell Belmar rounded off the second half comeback for the Bloaters with a brilliant twinkle toe run from the right-hand side of the goal, blasting it to the far corner in stoppage time, rounding off a 4-1 win for the Bloaters, which I'm sure gave the Cornard admin more to grumble about.
Yes! It's in! It's 4! It's 4!
Well, that was
What a
probably,
game. Weird.
It was, very... I don't think anyone really would have predicted that sort of game to happen, considering when we played them away, it was a close 2-2 draw where one team did well in the first half, one in the second. It was quite like a one-half team, but this time it was just a bit of a weird one, really.
I think on the away game, their conduct wasn't great on the away game with their mouth.
No.
Like, I'm very surprised. I'm pretty sure we said it when we played them away on the show. Like, I'm pretty surprised that they didn't end up with a few sin bins.
Yeah.
And the one sin bin they got wasn't a sin bin.
Yeah.
But this time, it was just poor conduct, poor attitude, and it just felt as... Like, how much can you blame the players for their poor attitude and conduct when the management team was acting like they were on the sidelines?
But yeah, for a non-league day game, I think it had really everything for it. Really.
Yeah, red cards, sin
it was just
bins,
the perfect
penalties,
game.
goals, comebacks,
Hat-tricks.
hat-tricks.
It was just the perfect game, really.
Yeah. But with that match over and done with, we now look at this midweek action as Yarmouth made the very short trip to Dereham on a Tuesday night.
The game started off at a blistering pace for Dereham, who started the game really brightly, knowing that a win would give their playoff hopes a massive boost. And in the goal came midway through the first half with a lethal ball through down the left-hand side with the Dereham forward passing it, or I think dinking it past Ling in the goal, and Dereham taking the lead to put them 1-0 up. And that is how the first half finished, even with Yarmouth probably finding their feet in the game, ending the half of the better two teams.
The second half really started off the same as the first half finished, with Yarmouth really piling on the pressure. Yarmouth were probably unlucky not to have a penalty after Charlie Barber got completely taken out in the Dereham penalty area. The referee with a simple decision to make, but somehow didn't give it. And actually gave Dereham a free kick and a yellow card for simulation, which, in my opinion, very poor and crazy decision.
Yeah, Yarmouth did finally find the equaliser that they were pressing for deep into the second half with a brilliant cross that was connected by Barber. The ball was deflected up into the air and Barber got his head onto it before the keeper to send it into the back of the net to make the deadlock level piece 1-1.
Cousins ball in. Missed. Yeah, Barber!
Yeah, Yarmouth did have a chance to win it in the dying moments to take all 3 points, but a fantastic save by the Dereham goalkeeper saved them there, and it finished 1-1. Now, overall,
I think it was quite a positive performance. I think
it
was a well-mannered game, I think, between both teams.
Yeah.
I think either team could have maybe won it. They both had chances. I think first 20 minutes we were really under the pressure, but I thought we grew into the game. I thought we were probably the better team in the second half, maybe.
Yeah.
Just about. But...
Yeah. I think first half, with the pressure, Yarmouth were in the later stages of the first half.
Yeah.
It was probably a 50-50 first half because Dereham did have a lot of the ball and a lot of the pressure in the first 20 minutes.
We were just sort of hitting on the counter-attack, waiting for them opportunities to just break through.
And we had chances. Yeah. A few questionable decisions. But overall... Positive.
Very positive performance. And I think before the game you take a point against a team that's pushing for the playoffs or in and around the area and think when you realise you maybe could have won it but you take a point and
it's a great
performance and start with the next one.
Great point away from home. I'm just very surprised at how quiet the Dereham fans were. Silent. They made like 5 seconds of noise when the goal went in and then you could hear a pin drop from them for the rest of the game. I thought they had singing fans.
Yeah.
But now, with that all completed and digested, all eyes go on to next week's fixtures. Firstly, on Saturday, Yarmouth make the 90-mile round trip as they take on Woodbridge in the latest fixture of the Furlong Non-Premier Division. Yarmouth are coming into this game with 31 games played, meaning there's only 7 matches remaining at the end of the season. It's gone very quick. Throughout those 31 matches so far this season, Yarmouth have won 10, drawn 11 and lost 9. Overall, we have a positive 9 goal difference and sit on 41 points. Yarmouth are the draw specialists in the league over the season, and in the past few games, the last 5, we have won 1, drawn 4 and we have not lost 1. We have scored 8 goals in that time while only conceding 4.
Yeah, while Woodbridge come into this match sitting in 11th position on 50 points, 9 above the Bloaters and sit 5 places away from the playoffs. with the breakdown of those games being 15 wins, 5 draws and 12 losses. Their form has been pretty decent as of late, with 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. I think it'll be a tough game. When they came to our place, it was a 0-0 draw. I think probably wasn't the greatest of games then, but both teams are in a different patch of form now. Yarmouth picking up their results, Woodbridge doing the same as well. So I think both teams in mid-table solidly there, both staying up. I don't know if Woodbridge can push for playoffs.
They're 8 points off.
So they have a chance, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, they'd have to...
Probably just win all of their remaining games, probably.
Yeah,
at least.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
like
if there's like 7 games left, they'd have to... Absolute minimum
win about 5.
would be win about... Absolute minimum would be win 3 and hope the 5 teams above them do not pick up a single point, which is unrealistic.
But it's still on.
But if they win, say, if they have like a spell, like we know teams can go on and win the rest of their games all
like
season.
Cornard, they have that.
Like
really
Cornard, like us at the start of the season, we went 7 games, 7 wins.
So yeah, it'll be an interesting game. I think it'll be a good game. But hopefully we can keep our positive form going and get a win.
Yeah, but we also have midweek action for the Bloaters as we take on Walsham the Willows at home at the Wellesley. Let's hope the referee isn't being assessed this game. The run into the end of the season is really coming thick and fast for the Bloaters. At the time of the recording, so excluding this weekend's results, Walsham the Willows sit 8th place in the league with 17 wins, 4 draws and 9 losses. They have a plus 24 goal difference and sit just 3 points off the playoffs. So, depending on this weekend's fixture, they could worm their way into the last playoff spot ahead of our match against them midweek.
So yeah, it's going to be a very tough game. Obviously, we came out with a loss at their place earlier, or a few weeks ago, I think. Just over a month ago.
A couple months, maybe.
But yeah, that was a interesting game to say the least.
Yeah, I don't think that result
showed
either team playing well. It was a game that the referee wanted to be centre of attention of, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it'll be a tough game. Moon wants to say hello. Yeah, it'll be a tough game again. But obviously, with it being at home this time, in midweek as well. Obviously, when Brantham came to us midweek, we got a point out of them. Thetford came to us midweek, got a point out of them.
We got a point out of Dereham.
Point out of Dereham on a midweek. So when we play these top teams, especially on midweek, we need to get a point.
Yeah.
So who knows? Hopefully, it'll be a good game. Hopefully, get a good crowd and atmosphere, and hopefully get the 3 points. It'll be a big and massive
boost. Yep, so another fully packed week for the Bloaters this week, but that is all we have to say for this episode, so we hope you enjoyed, and as always, up the Bloaters.